Hi guys, it's James. This is Professor Steve Burgess. He's my instructor here in Petawawa, the head instructor of Evolution Petawawa. He's going to show us some stuff today.
Okay. All right. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to talk about some of the basic attacks from the mounted position. So we know that in Jiu-Jitsu the most dominant position that you can have is the mounted position, and it's really just because it's a leverage concept. So when Jiu-Jitsu started to gain popularity in the early 1990s, mostly because of fights like the Ultimate Fighting Championships and things like that, people started to see the effectiveness of the mount position. Quite honestly, really what it amounts to is from a striking aspect. So James, I'll just get you to try this a little bit. So when I'm mounted on top of an opponent this way, all right, I have a lot of leverage here, because what happens is that if we were striking in a self-defense situation, when he tries to strike me, he can't reach me from here. But, we have our arms are both the same length, but I can touch him no problem. And it's only because of where I'm sitting on the body. So it's a very strong position for me to fight from. So this is why the mount position is so critically important in our style from a self-defense aspect. So he certainly doesn't want to be on top, or it doesn't want to be on the bottom here like this. Now, one thing we're going to go over is we're going to go over a couple of fundamental basic attacks that what I like to call high percentage attacks from the mount position. So the very first one that we're going to do is called the Americana arm lock. So from here, a lot of guys, they have experience in Jiu-Jitsu, they'll stay very tight underneath here, and they're trying to make sure that everything stays in tight, and it limits my ability to actually attack the opponent. So what happens here though, is I've decided I'm going to attack an arm. Now when I go to attack the arm, I'm always using the palms of my hands this way, and I bring my fingers together and I don't use thumbs, all right? And so I call a false grip. So when I do a false grip, how I'm going to attack this arm to isolate it is I want to put the palm of my hand here on his wrist. And then I'm going to put the palm of my other hand on James's elbow, just like this. Now, why I do this is because I want to attack his one arm with both my arms and using gravity and my body weight to push the person down. So I go 1, 2, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to drive in. I keep my elbows nice and tight this way so I can concentrate the amount of force that I can apply to the arm. And as I push the arm this way, I'm going to drive my elbow right into this spot. So I drive my elbow right in here, right next to the neck and on top of the shoulder. So it's touching the floor. I've got no thumb here, so remember it's a false grip, and I keep the wrist here under control with my hand. My other hand that is here on the elbow, okay, I'm going to now take this arm and I slide it underneath of his arm like this. And I figure 4 my hands together. All right, so we'll just turn this way a little bit so you see a little better. So when I do that transition, okay, I'm here, I'm going to put my elbow to the floor, and then I'm going to slide my hand, palm down, underneath the arm. And I reach up here and I grab my own wrist. Now, there's 2 things I need to do to actually lock this in. Okay, but before I do it, I'm going to slide my body down a little bit, just about an inch or so. And then what I'm going to do here is this. I'm going to turn the wrist this way, and I'm going to pull his elbow down to my knee, all right? So we do that. Okay, James is already feeling the pressure enough to tap, okay? But when I do this turn, pull down to my knee, all right? And then what I'm going to do here is I'm going to try to turn the elbow up this way to get the submission, all right? So as soon as I do that little turn, it starts to pressure the shoulder joint this way, all right? And then, so it starts to put a lot of pressure on the rotator cuff. Once I pull the arm down, I start to take the flexibility of the shoulder. Because some guys are really flexible, so it's kind of hard to get them. But I want to make sure that I twist the arm straight over. So one of the mistakes that people will make is they try to lift his arm this way. And no, what I want to do is I want to twist like this and keep my arms on the floor. Then I pull the arm down to my knee. So I'm trying to touch my knee with my elbow. And remember, I keep this twisted. Now, if he doesn't tap already, because some people will tap just from this pressure, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to drag his knuckles on the mat and take his elbow and rotate it straight over. All right? So I'm getting here like this, and pull down and lift up. And there's the submission right there. Okay? So that's called the Americana arm lock. Now, I'll just angle here a little bit. Let's get this. I need an angle. Okay, so just basically kind of what it looks like in full speed. So I'm here this way. And there's the submission. That's the Americana arm lock.